Alright, let's do this. So I haven't seen anyone do like a guide like this, at least in depth like this, although I don't really watch a lot of stuff. But yeah, I figure we can go through this. So this is made by a guildie of mine, Dominic. So all credit to him. I have given him a lot of information, of course, but he's the one that compiled everything really, so he did a really amazing job there. And I just figured I might as well just go through everything that we are, sharing with our guild, and yeah, should make things a little bit more clear. So we're just gonna go through all this. I'm gonna timestamp everything as well, so if you don't want to watch everything, there's like a what to do on the day one, so you can just skip to that, I guess. But yeah, we'll see if we can do it in under 20 minutes at least, so it doesn't take too long. So yeah, first is how to unlock this thing, right? So if you have already done this quest, you don't need to care about this part. But if you haven't, there's the trial of the chosen one, and we can just look at the picture here. So this is the office floor in 13.3. So you spawn. Let's see here. Where do you spawn? You spawn down here, right? And so what you want to do is just run up here. And then you want to bump that little robot head all the way over here. And then that robot is going to be walking like this path here. You just follow it up there. Then you go up here into this room and you will find the master or creator of those robots so you can control them. Then you go back here and then you move the robots so you can get up here. And that's basically where the trial area is. That's all you have to do. I think that's what's this? No, my bad. You need to go in here first, right? Yeah. So there's a camera here. That's what it is. Yeah. So you go here, then you go into like a dark area, and you turn off the security systems in here. And I think you're coming out here or something like that. But yeah, then you go up here, and you will do the trial. And then you will be receiving this. I think this should be in your inventory already if you have already done it, right? So the trial is where you have to survive those bombs and not get blown up by them. That's where you meet Scintilla as well. And once that's done, it's gonna look like this. It's gonna be unlocked, so you can do that, get some gems as well. That's nice. And yeah, then we're moving on how to farm. I'm just gonna read here, and then I'm gonna add like some of my own things as well, right? So get resources from destroying trees and stones daily, and yeah, there's 50 stones and 50 wood per day. And the map, I don't have the map actually here. I'm just gonna use this, it's just easier, but you will see when you get in there. So I don't actually have any footage from this, but just basically a greenery area where there is a bunch of rocks on the ground and also trees, and you just kill them with your normal attack, right? So and yeah, we would suggest using like a AoE normal attack hero, so such as Camel or maybe Lifeguard user would be nice too. That's also for harvesting your crops later. And yeah, the one you choose as your profile card would be the one that's going to be in there. So that's recommended. On my KR account, I was using Beth because I don't know, I was kind of slow, so I would say definitely use something with AoE there. Goes a lot faster. We're gonna get into why later, because there's gonna be a lot of back and forth, so yeah. And there's 4 types of buildings. There's the house, and then there is a crafting table, and then there is the storage, and then there's the forge. So the house is basically like the inn, I suppose you could say, in Heavenhold. The crafting table, that's where you craft everything. Then you have the storage, that's the thing that increases the capacity of how many materials you can hold. I believe you start on 50, and when you build it, you can have 60 instead, and it goes up like that. And the forge is where you do everything with the relics, really. I'm gonna get into that later, so don't worry. Seeds and planting, right? So you can get the seeds from expedition. So one run will give you 1 seed. It's 1-to-1 ratio in there. And as you can see here in the picture, when you spend 120 stamina in any game mode, whatever, like you spend 120 stamina, then the crops will be ready to harvest, and that will look like that. And the materials you get is a powder. I can't remember the exact name of those. I'm just calling them reroll powder or reroll dust, really. And that's how you reroll the stats on the relics. And Planted seeds can in rare cases appear as a golden flower, which will give you a golden petal, which can be used in a relic shop. I'll show you that in a little bit. I think I had like 2,800 stamina on my KR account, and I just went for it. I did not min-max or anything to get as many harvest as possible, but I didn't see any of these, so I think it's pretty rare. More like a bonus. Then we have Expedition, and that's of course the other game mode that's linked to the farm, and it is a little bit similar to co-op defense, except that the enemies are only there to kill you, really, not to reach a certain point to destroy a base, right? So it's basically just a big room. You can look down here, and there's like a lot of enemies that just spawn in, and you just have to kill as many as possible and keep killing them as well. So you can actually see these little blobs here. There's those, and there's some yellow ones as well. You want to keep collecting these to make your multiplier go up. 9.99 is the highest, so that's how you get the highest score. So let's just read through all this. Kill as many enemies as possible, right? Aside from killing enemies, you can get bonus score for hot swapping teams, as well as activating the bonus tiles that light up. Alright, so what happens is that you're gonna see these two icons here. That's what I call hot swapping. So basically you can swap the teams. So you're gonna go in with 3 teams of 4, right? So you can swap this, and as many swaps the more swaps you do, the more bonus score you get as well. You don't need to utilize both of these teams, by the way, so it's actually enough if you just swap between 2 teams, like team 1 and 2, for example. So I would say that you just want to make 2 really good teams, and the last one could more be of like a buff team or whatever, you know, in terms of relic stats. We'll get there soon. And you see these tiles on the ground here. The 4 here, they can light up, and you will have like, I don't know how long time, it's not super long, it's like 10 or 5 seconds or something to run on top of them, and that will activate something. If you run on top of this one, I believe you spawn a lava bug, which is going to run into the field, and it's going to explode unless you kill it. If it does explode, it's going to kill all the enemies in like a huge radius. However, those enemies dying there are not going to drop any of these blobs here, so you definitely want to kill it. And I think what happened here is actually that so there's like a field down here and one up there, like on the you can't really see it here, it's like out of picture, but like just below the timer and also above the HP bar in a way. If you step on that, you're gonna spawn 2 bigger enemies, and I think it's the ones we actually see there under the weapon skill. So you're gonna have those events going on there as well. And yeah, just kill everything. It's not too much to show actually, because some guild was like, oh, we want some videos and stuff, but I mean, it's really straightforward. Just go in there and kill everything. And the rules for this is actually the same as rifts, right? So if you fail or die or whatever, like, you're not gonna spend any stamina, and you can also practice. So yeah, no stress about that, I think. Then we have, let's see here, yeah, collect the golden beads and that shit for the multiplier. And you can build the teams, yeah, inactive team, yeah, so the teams that are inactive, you see the little HP here, they're regenerating HP, so if you don't have that much stats, you can of course swap in order to actually survive as well, not only to maximize the DPS, you know, because I think the difficulty is definitely going to increase. You can see here I have half the team dead here, that's my KR account. It's really bad though, so I think you would most likely have a better outcome than this, that for sure. Let's see here, yeah, so we definitely recommend VSR on kill equipment on leaders. It's been nerfed by 70%, but considering the amount of enemies here, I think it's still definitely worth it to use. And the items that you would use in that case, if you have a dark magic ring, you don't even need to MLB it, by the way. That would be really nice, get that 0.3. And then you also have the cards, of course, VSR on kill. So that's what you want to use. I would not use the teeth and merchandise. Personally, I would just go for the SSB on leader. Been trying this a lot in co-op defense, right? Where I just found it was just better with SSB, because you need to do damage as well, as long as you have the stat in a way. And yeah, Expeditions will drop seeds and relics. You can see the rewards here, and you can also get these bonus items, which goes into something I forgot what it's called, but it's like a dossier or something, you know, where you get bonus score, and you want to collect those as well. But I mean, that's just random drops. And then you get some gold, you get some experience, and then you get the seed. That's one run, right? So you get one seed there. I was unlucky in this run, of course, and I didn't get any artifact. I haven't been able to get to 64k on my account, so I'm not sure what these boxes are gonna give. I assume it's more artifacts and stuff. But yeah, let's see here. Right, and then there's a new stat called Mystic Resistance as well, which is a passive stat on relics. And that resistance you do want in order to progress, because what it does is that I think the new stages, like higher stages, start with minus 90% attack and minus 90% defense, and you know, I think it's scaling linearly. So if you have like Mystic Resistance, it's gonna get that down towards 0. There's a different requirement. I think the latest level in like the highest in like District 3 requires like 2720 or something Mystic Resistance, and the second level requires like 40, right? So it goes up like that. Mystic Resistance is also shared across all teams, by the way, otherwise we wouldn't be able to get the maximum. So you know, if you have Mystic Resistance on these 4 here, as well as the 4 here and the 4 here, it's gonna add up together. Another stat that works the same is the Relic Drop percentage, and that's something you really want to stack up as well. We're gonna get there in a little bit. And after your first clear of the day, it resets every day, you can do a sweep, and that will be based off the higher score. So ideally, you know, you get up here, and then you can just sweep with that score. Also worth noting is that when you sweep, it's gonna take into account a relic drop percentage, so you definitely wanna try to go in with that stat actually. We'll get into those details in a bit. And rewards for clearing stages within the same district. Yeah, so I think it's the same within. So if you do like 1-1 or 1-3, I didn't notice any difference there. I do think, however, that if you go into District 2 or 3, you're going to get more rewards than if you were in District 1. I haven't seen that myself, but that's just logical, right? So, higher district, yeah, okay. Progress into District 2 ASAPs, yeah. So that's another thing. You really want to get into District 2 ASAPs. You don't want to like stay too long. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm just going to try to progress as fast as possible, really, so I don't waste time in District 1. Reason for that is there's gonna be a requirement for unlocking the different districts. So to get to District 2, you need a score of 720, that's 240,000 points per of the each levels, you know, if you divide it. However, to get into District 3, you need 1.5 million score total, which you'll probably get from doing it, but the other problem is gathering these items here, and that is Proof of Courage, Wisdom and Swiftness, and they are rare drops. So I was talking to someone in Korea, he started with 4,000 stamina, and he still didn't get all of them. I think he's missing 1 or 2 or something of either of those. So he can't get into District 3. So you're definitely going to need a lot of stamina for that. But don't stress it too much if you can't get there, though. Like I said, I'm not sure how big of a difference it is actually to be in Stage 2 or 3, District 2 or 3, sorry. You're still going to get relics and everything, you know, and you can still optimize this. We're going to get into that soon. So just don't stress it too much, right? And there's two little spaces there. I don't like that. There we go. All right, and then we have team building. So you need, like I said, you need 3 pre-made teams. Heroes with high AoE will help a lot, and yeah, I would say build team 1 and 2 for maximum damage. Team 3 could wear equipment with mystic resistance and a relic drop boost. However, I would say that if you can do it, if you have the stats and everything, like the Korean person I spoke to, he said he almost has full attack, almost, and he is just running with full relic drop percentage, and that's something I would do if I were you as well, if you can, because it's gonna give you up to 5% on each item, so that's 60% increased relic drop chance, which is really good. So that's something you want to do. When I wrote this, I thought that it's gonna be like harder, so I figured you want some offensive stats, but probably not, honestly. Like, especially if you stack up a lot of stamina like I've done, you definitely want to just farm as much as you can, right? And then you can do the rerolls when you're done for the day, because you're gonna have a lot of reroll dust. And yeah, you can also combine the chain of all the teams. So on the boss in District 3, you're actually able to do a 12 chain, which is pretty cool. So you just go through the first 4, then you swap team, and then you do the next, you know, because the ailment is still gonna be on the boss. It's pretty cool. And here we have known enemies. So in District 1, you're gonna have basic and water enemies. And in District 2, you're also gonna have fire enemies on top of the other 2. And in District let's see here, 3.1 and 3.2, it's going to be the same as District 2. Then you have the boss, the big boss in District 3, that's fire only, and it's only the boss you're fighting. And there's also a mini boss in District 3, which is like the lower right side, and that one is also a fire boss. And that fire boss, by the way, in that mini boss thing, as I call it, I only have 1 team actually, not 3. Yeah. There's also a hidden wonder, as it's called, like a hidden map or whatever. It's this one you can see here. So when you're in the main menu of the what's it called, expedition, you will see like some buttons down here. One is the forge, and the left one is the one to get in here. And this one you need to collect these pages here. You get them as a random drop when you do the normal stages. It costs 5 to get in there, capped at 20. It gives really good rewards from what we've seen. So what I would do here is to wait as long as you can, so you have as much relic drop percentage as possible, and then go in. Or if you get like 20 of them, then you better get in there, right? So whatever happens first, that's definitely suggested. Gives a lot of nice stuff in there. So not sure you can sweep this one actually. Maybe, I haven't checked it, but yeah. And the presets is going to look like this. It's not going to be shared with the normal presets, which is really nice, because that would be a problem. And you can see there's a difference here. Instead of being like one, like our current presets have, like, you know, 4 slots here for the heroes, right? Where here it's going to be 3 teams instead, so you would have the heroes here, so you can make like the full thing. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to make 1 preset for District 1, 1 preset for District 2 and 3, as well as the hidden stage, 1 for the boss and 1 for the mini boss. So that's 4 presets. That's what I'm going for. I'll show you some teams later, by the way, so don't worry. Here we go. Recommended teams. These teams has been seen in videos, yeah, and they're known to work really. There may be better ones. I don't know about that. We'll have to figure it out really, you know. But yeah, using this will be a good start. We know they can do it to get all the rewards. And the numbers beneath here indicate the chain order. And it doesn't really matter for the normal stages, because you're not really gonna chain anything, because everything just dies so quickly. And yeah, let's see here. Let's just take a look here. So this is for District 1. You see here the preferred item here would be the Dark Magic Ring. And Ogma, of course, using the new weapon if you're going to use Ogma, not the tank version. So the thing here is that you can see we're using Lupina here. I'm not actually sure which is better, this team or this team, but I assume it's this one. However, you're going to be using these 2 with their own weapons, right? Because you're only meeting basic and water, which is going to work really nicely. However, when you get into District 2 and 3, you're going to have some fire enemies as well, and it would be kind of wasted to have their own weapons. So you would use Amarok if you have 1, and also the Dark Bow on Tinia. However, unless you have 2 Amaroks, you're not going to be able to use Lupina, which is why we put Ray instead with Ogma's weapon. And I don't, so I'll have to do this. And then there's an alternative that I've seen here, haven't seen it in action, maybe it's worth it, I don't know. And there's of course the case where if you don't have Ogma's new weapon or not going for it, then I don't think Ogma would be a good idea here. Then maybe consider using, I don't know, MK2 or you know, something else really. Yeah, there's that. It's just worth trying. And then here is for the boss. So this is pretty cool actually. So you have all these teams here. So the idea here is to use Ray, and you just use Ray normally, and you just want to get that chain going, right? So you just attack the boss as normal and try to do as much damage as you can.
while doing that. And then when it's time to chain, you will start with Ray, Scintilla, what's her called, Lilleh, Yuse. I'm not exactly sure about the boss pattern or anything. I know he jumps away at some point, so I think it would be safe to just use all the chains at like 1.3 seconds or something, so you don't gap it in case he jumps away. That'll be annoying. So just do that for all the chains, because you just can do so much anyways. So like I said, you start with this team here. When you're done with that, then you swap into the Claude team. Then you start with Ogma. Then you use Arabelle, Claude, MK2, swap again into Veronica team, and then you will be using Veronica, Nari, and Orca and Garam. And I think the boss should kind of maybe die even in that chain, so it's a lot of damage going on there. So that's pretty cool. Then you have the mini boss. I don't know about the best team there or whatever. Like, you obviously, I've seen this one being used. I personally want to try all these as well, because you never know. So I just want to see how that goes. I don't think it matters that much though, because I think that stage is mostly just to collect some like dossier item to get some extra score. Maybe there's a leaderboard for that one though, I'm not sure. If there is, I definitely want to try to push all the ranks, right, to get the top ranks. But that's something that I will leave for much later, by the way, because, you know, the focus now will just be to farm as many relics and get the best stats as possible. Here's some videos of the boss kills. Ketron is one guy, and then there's GDU Nin that has another one, so you can watch that if you want to see the boss. Pretty cool. And yeah, moving on. New equipment, Relic. New equipment slot, drops and expeditions. There are 4 types of relics divided into 3 rarities, right? So yeah, you have the normal one, you have the rare one, and then you have the unique one. Higher rarity relics can be obtained by drops only, so you can't like upgrade them or anything, you just have to get lucky to get them. Every relic has 2 main stats, that's unique ones. The normal and rare ones only has 1 main stat. And then there's also 2 substats, which are like the optional stats, and 1 set bonus. Yeah. Main stats are random and can't be changed through rerolling, and that's gonna be a fucking headache. Like, because what we're gonna look at the set bonuses soon, right? But like for raid, for example, the best relic would be the one with the crit set bonus, and you obviously want to have attack and crit on that thing. But I mean, it's just random, so if you're unlucky, you would just end up with like defensive stats on it instead. But there's nothing to do there, so yeah, gonna take quite some farming to get that done. Substats, however, can be changed in the forge using those reroll dust that you get when you're harvesting in the farm, and you're probably gonna end up having a lot of them, especially if you are a little bit patient about this. I'm gonna show you that soon. But yeah, one substat will always be mystic resistance as well, which I'm really sad about, because you don't always want to use them in there, right? So it would be nice to actually get 2 of them, but I guess they figured it was too OP, I don't know. But yeah, that's the case. You can only get 1 with a substat, really. Each kind of relic has its own set bonus, yeah, and to activate the set bonus, all the members in the party needs to have the same kind of relic, and rarity doesn't matter. And this obviously doesn't apply to arena, since you only have 3 heroes in there, not 4. And master arena, same thing there, and co-op obviously, since you're alone in there, you know, in theory, or in a way. So yeah, we're gonna look here. The stats you can get is these ones here. For a raid setting, you of course want the crit and attack combined with boss damage. For farming this mode, however, this is the stat you want to get. That's the Relic Drop chance. For Arena and Colosseum, PvP damage would make a lot of sense to have. Then you have some crit multiplier here. You have some AoE for melee and ranged. And you have some recover HP here, and obviously mystic resistance, that's always going to be there. So I'm thinking, if you want to min-max the score, if now we're talking about pushing the score, right, because there's going to be a leaderboard with score, don't worry about this in the start, like no one cares. Like, you just want to be smart and get the relic contain chance instead, to farm as many relics as you can, and then we can worry about that part later, because you're going to have so many reroll dust. I'm going to show you in a bit. So you don't really need to care about this, but to min-max the score for this mode, I would say these two stats would definitely be the best to get. Do note that it's only 6% here, yes, but there's also every 1 second, where this is every 3 seconds, so 15. But yeah, so that's that. I suppose crit multiplier would be, I don't know, Camazone maybe, I don't know, doesn't really matter, but yeah. Also, I was actually thinking, you know, like every 5 seconds recover HP. I figured maybe this could be worth it for, you know, Ogma, or for Arena. Could be pretty disgusting, because that's gonna be like, you know, let's say 25 seconds, that's like, yeah, it's like 15%, I think. So that's like having a smiley face on, in a way. Maybe worth it, considering. But yeah, those are things we can fiddle with later, really, you know, on the right artifact or whatever, you know. But yeah, I definitely want to build like a tank one for him. And here you can see the relics with the set bonuses. So this one here gives HP, this one gives defense, this one here gives crit, and this one gives attack. So I think you can also figure out by now that, you know, the 3% crit card is better than the 5% attack card, right? So here we have 5 to 5, so this is definitely the one you want to go for. This one is just a poor man's version of this, really, where the same goes here. I mean, you have the defense here and the HP there. There are heroes like Lan, I guess, that would be happy with this thing here. But yeah, these two are the ones you definitely want to go for. But then again, you know, it's not like we have the luxury to choose here, and we just have to take what we get, really, you know. But down the road, you know, in the future, maybe, you know, we can definitely try to go for these things. And now the Forge, right. There's 3 features in the Forge. Endowment, or reroll stats, as I call it, as the first tab. That's going to grant your relic the substats. And you will be using Mystic Powder, yeah, that's the name of it. I'm just calling it reroll dust, though. And you get these from the farm flowers, 1-to-1 ratio. And it looks like this, really. Do the click here, and yeah, then you get a stat. It's like using an option change, and it's gonna look like this, you know. Then you either take it or you don't. Then there is inherit, transfer secondary stats from a relic to another. The material relic must have sub options to be, yeah, so that's important, right? So how the inherit works is that you put like the target thing here, that's the one that's gonna benefit from this, and then you use this as a material. You might find that the list of materials is like empty when you look here, and that's because they don't have any substats, so obviously that's not gonna work. So you need to have like substats on them. And you're gonna use inherit stones for those. Those are pretty rare, we're gonna look at that later. But yeah, so if there's this little purple flag here, indicates if there is substats on it, that you have rerolled it. So you need that, and it has to be the same relic, of course. And the rarity has to be equal or higher, so you can do normal to normal, normal to rare, normal to unique, but not like, you can't use a unique as a material for a normal one. And also worth noting is that the material artifact is going to be destroyed, which means that, yeah, it's going to be gone, really. So yeah. And then you have breakdown as well. It's basically just what it sounds like, right? You're going to break down the artifacts you don't want, or relics, sorry. And you're going to get these arcane crystals. Wait, now. Yeah, they're called arcane crystals. Normal ones give 1, rare gives 10, and unique ones give 30. And you're going to be, that's a currency that you use in the shop. Which brings us to the shop. And you have 4 items here. There's the Mystic Relic box. That's the golden petals that we talked about earlier. I know there's like a like a mission or something in the exploration that's going to give you at least 1. Other than that, I don't know how you get more of them, except for being lucky in the farm. And you see here as well, there's like 1 out of 8 steps here. So I'm not really sure what comes after this, but this one is obviously a guaranteed rare one. Then you have a daily limit of ancient seeds, which is the seeds you put in the farm, and that's going to be quite costly, actually, because, you know, you're going to be spending, what, 60 a day. I'm not sure how many of these arcane crystals we're going to have in the end, so I don't want to say too much here, but I'm not really sure this is worth it if you play it efficiently, because the thing is, if you're being efficient about it, you only do 8 sweeps at a time, right? So you can spend those 120 stamina. It's 15 stamina per run, by the way. and then you get seeds for that. You're just gonna be like, yeah, so I'm not really sure. This one, however, on a weekly limit, you definitely want to get that. That's 150 of those, but yeah, you definitely want to get those. And then there's this one as well. So the thing is, like, what you can maybe do, don't take my word for this, it's just a thought that I had, is to actually not care about this and just buy this and then just buy this to have like more chances at more relics. It was just a thought. I'm not really sure though. We're gonna see, because the thing is, what ancient seeds really give in the end of the day is like reroll dust. Sure, you could get a golden petal, but I mean the odds of that happening is really low, right? So it's like, I don't know. Yeah. And I think, yeah, I'm not sure actually. Well, we'll have to see about that. Anyways, it's just a thought. So there's that. Okay, 22 minutes, this is gonna be a long video. Anyways, and yeah, here I've just done some things with relics, what kind of stats you want to have. So for expedition / co-op defense, you want the AoE one, that with attack. Why is boss damage field here? Huh, that makes no sense. Why did I fill that? I think I copied this one or something. I have to fix this. What the? That's weird. I don't want that. No, I'm stupid. Yep, that's of course the boss in the expedition I was thinking about. Right. You can essentially use this one. Assuming you want to, like, let's say you get the crit ones, because that's what you want to do, attack and crit, just max. So you can just use the same one here as here when you're meeting the boss. Yeah, that's right. And for those without a boss where there's a lot of enemies, you use the AoE one instead. However, when we're farming, we just want this one here. That's that. We don't care about anything else. Just get as high relic drop as possible. For arena, there's a bunch of different ones, of course. You can get the defense crit combo, is a pretty nice one as base stats, or main stats. And secondary stats is obviously PvP damage. Same goes for tanks as well. Unless... I was thinking about that HP 5 seconds, right, with Ogma. That's why it says like that. And then you have Colo, then there's just some different things here. Mia, if you use her, then you want some healing, I guess. And, you know, yeah, just some preferred stats, really. This is all in the spreadsheet that you're gonna see in the description as well. We also made for orbital lift and Amazon. Don't know why, because it's like whatever, but yeah. So yeah, I suppose. Here's the FAQ, the frequently asked questions, and we'll get to the TLDR after. So, does every entry cost stamina in Expedition? Yes, the same rules as Rift. Every run costs 15 coffee. If you die or cancel the run, you don't spend any coffee. Will I reach District 3 on the first day? Most likely not. Even with 4k stamina, getting all the required items, as we talked about before, will be unlikely. For those who skipped here, there is a requirement to get into District 3. When you're in District 2, you need to collect 3 different items of 3 different categories. That's 9 items in total, and those are pretty rare to have dropping. So yeah. How to get higher tier relics? Can I upgrade? It's all about RNG. You get every rarity from drop. No way to upgrade. Will stamina be increased? No. 75 is the max. Sorry, 76. Do I need to set up groups, or are those defaults? For Expedition you need 3 groups of 4. Utilize the preset menu. Yeah. Are presets shared with other modes? No, the Expedition presets are separate from the other ones. And now I see there's a double space here again. Really annoying. There we go. And how to unlock special stages. You have to collect 5 map pieces, and those are random drops. And you definitely want to wait with doing this as late as possible to get as much relic drop percentage as possible, or till you get 20 of them, because that's the cap. What to do once the update comes? Right, so here is basically what I'm gonna do during the stream. So you complete the trial of the chosen one if you didn't already do it. Then you can skip this. If you plan on getting Ogma's new EX, doing so first would be a good idea, since he's included in the best teams, as we saw before. And once you get the weapon and fix the stats and MB it and whatever, you know, we're gonna do that first in the stream as well. Enter the farm. Now you want to harvest or destroy all the rocks and everything. You can actually see this little picture here. That's a tree that I destroyed, and these are a destroyed rock. So you just want to run around and kill all that. 50 of each material, like I said, is what you will get. So do that. Then you want to start by building your house. The house is just going to be like a little wreckage, right? So you need to build it so it looks like this. Then you're going to make 10 crop tiles, and then the forge and the storage. You can afford everything on day one. And I would recommend strategically positioning this because you're going to be going in and out of the farm a lot. Because that's something, yeah, we'll get to that in just a little bit. But yeah, you spawn here every time you go in, right? So I just put them below here so you can reach them as soon as possible. And then I just put this stuff up here, and I think, yeah, the storage is up here, just above the farmhouse. See, the forge is there. You don't need to go in here to use the forge, though. I just placed it there because it's close to the table, but yeah. So once that's done, once the farm is set up, you start by going into the expedition and going through the dialogue. There's going to be some talk there. Once you're done, you'll be able to play. Start by going into District 1 and just click Stage 1 and then start making your presets. I'm gonna set up, like I said, all the presets. That's for District 1, District 2 and 3, plus the hidden one, as well as the boss and the mini-boss. So I'm ready to go with all that. And I recommend you try to progress to District 2 as soon as possible, yeah, since you'll be required to collect those special items to unlock District 3. I personally will min-max this, so I won't do more than 8 runs at a time. Which means that I'm gonna be going into the expedition. Then I'll do 8 sweeps. Then I go into the farm, harvest all these crops, then plant new ones. And oh, there's a mode, by the way, so you can plant like a big square of 9 in one go. So that's nice as well. And yeah, so then you just plant those, then go back into the expedition, do another 8 sweeps, then go back in here, plant again, and you just keep doing like that. It's gonna take a lot, but yeah, it's definitely worth it, because then you're gonna have a lot of reroll dust. So that's why I would recommend just getting the relic drop percentage until you have used all your stamina, and then, you know, you can put some other stats on or whatever. So yeah. Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, so it's gonna take a lot of time for me. It's gonna be about 95 rounds for me, I think, because I'm not sure about how much stamina I'm gonna have, but I think it's a little bit north of 11,000. So if we divide 11,000, you know, in 120, yeah, that's 95 rounds. So it's gonna be a lot of back and forth. Sadly, there's no way to go from the farm directly to the expedition. You need to go out into Heavenhold and then use the Zeppelin to get in. Really tedious, but they have added some kind of portal, they said, in the next update, the anniversary update. I'm not sure if it's going to be like an actual portal that you're building to place here somewhere, or if it's going to be like just a button so you can get there. Not sure about that. So that's basically how to min-max that thing. So you can get as many reroll dots, and you definitely want to do that. So I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do it, but I'm thinking like what I could actually do is to have relic drop on everything until I have no more stamina. Then I can just start rerolling to get actual good stats on the stuff and use it for the week. And I personally would be buying, you know, stamina every week. So whenever I have like a high number of stamina or whatever, I could or even get some normal grade relics actually with drop percentage after, and just use those and like whatever, you know, and use those. I think that could be worth it, as long as we make the highest score, right, with the to get all the rewards. It's fine. So yeah, anywho, and here are my preparations too. I figured if anyone want to know. So as you may have guessed, I have prepared for this update, mainly stamina stacking. Last week, July 3rd, I bought, that's last Sunday, I bought the 2x500 weekly stamina, and I also stopped spending any stamina. Each day leading up to today, July 9th, well 10th today, I bought 200 stamina for gems. And I've also been, obviously picking up the stuff, the mails, and save those. So yeah, I was sitting on 2,800. I currently have 6,800 stamina, and because I bought the pack, right? So let's see here. That will put me on the 3k soft cap. Yeah, tomorrow Sunday. So this is today, obviously. So what I did today, I actually bought like all the stamina today just to get a little bit more, 50 more for the gems. So I got above that 3k cap, because I don't think you can buy stamina for gems once you're above 3k. I don't think so, at least. Like the mail, for example. If we just go into the mailbox, I can't do this. So we'll have to spend that on the day. But yeah, so after I reach the 3k, I will buy this week's 2x500 as well as the 5x500 stamina that came with the current update. And yeah, now we are at that number pretty much. That's pretty lucky actually, because I was going to buy the 500 stamina, but then for some reason I didn't do it because I was on vacation, so I didn't really have time, and then obviously this happened, so I was like, oh nice. So that's really good. And yeah, once the update is live, that's in 2 days, I will be buying the 550 stamina times 4. I'll be buying the 300 stamina times 2, the 500 stamina, that's the weekly stuff, These are some packs that come with the update. And also the 14 days stamina pack. I haven't grabbed all the stamina from that one actually, so I still have some stamina to collect there, like 500 or something actually. And then there's of course all the mail that I've been saving since last Tuesday as well. So yeah, pretty much 11k. There's also like some controller and gem packs that give 100 stamina each. There's 8 of them in total. I personally probably won't do that because $220 for like 800 stamina is not the best deal, and because I don't really count the gems and the controllers because I don't need it, right? So I'll essentially just be paying for the stamina, and I don't think that's gonna make a huge difference anyway, so in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole thing here. Long video, sorry for that, but I think it definitely gives a really good idea of what we're looking at here. So, like I said, there's gonna be a stream, of course. It's gonna go up, let's say 15-20 minutes after the servers are up. Let's aim for that anyways, because I want to make like a nice thumbnail and get all the packs and that stuff. So maybe half an hour latest after. Yeah, I'll try to be as quick as I can. And yeah, what we're gonna do is to pull Ogma's weapon, and then I'll be going into the farm as you saw with the plan, and then it's the expedition, of course. I probably won't chase any high scores or anything like that at the moment, since I just want to be getting as many relics as possible. But yeah, I think it could be a nice way to see how the mode works and everything. So yeah, I'll be looking forward to seeing you there. And thanks for this, and see you all later. Bye!